BreitlinkSource.com here, and we're looking at a Glashutte original watch today. This is a German brand, manufacturer. They make all their movements, and the Glashutte company has been around for a while, and they didn't used to make such high-end watches as they do now. You can find a lot of their previous watches from prior to like World War II, I believe, or sort of around that period. Definitely before the Berlin Wall came down, and some of their stuff from then is significantly lower end, not finished to the same level as they are now. I'm not that familiar with the history of Glashutte, but they've really emerged in say like the last 10 years, even 15 years, to be one of the premier German brands. I would kind of put them around sort of like the German version of JLC, of Jaeger-LeCoultre. So this one we're looking at today is the Glashutte original Senator Sixties, and this watch was introduced in 2007 by Glashutte original. It's sort of a throwback to an older style that they had in the 60s. And if you look at the watch from the 60s, it looks almost identical, except it's 30, I believe it's 35 or 36 millimeters as opposed to 39, which this one is. And that's only from the front. From behind, it looks quite a bit different. This one here, if you take a look at the movement close up, you can see that there's a sapphire crystal that's cut here. And you can actually, the crystal is actually shaped like a plateau, and you can see the side of the 21 karat rotor. It's actually very cool. Very beautiful back on this one. It's a bit smaller than many other watches that I have at 39 millimeters. Actually the smallest watch that I own right now. Actually, like smallest of my higher end watches, let's say. I do have some old quartz watches kicking around that aren't too big. This is not the original band. The original band is sort of the similar style, but in a blue croco. This is an aftermarket Hirsch classic croc, but it is the same dimensions. So I have the Glashutte original buckle on there. I think it's a nice band. I think it suits the watch quite well. So as you can see, it sits. It's not a large watch, but it suits my wrist, I think. I find that this watch really looks great when I'm wearing a suit. It just really looks great just peeking out of the cuff when it's just right there. On it as a sport watch, when you're wearing a t-shirt, it's maybe a little bit too classy looking for that. It just looks like an old watch. It has the style of the older watches, and it looks like an older watch. So it definitely belongs on the wrist with a dress shirt or something similar, and that's usually what I wear it with. I do remember when I showed this watch to most people, like my dad and others that aren't really into watches quite as much as I am, they found that the watch was a bit too boring, and they weren't really impressed by it. It's not running right now. I'll give it a little bit of a whine to start it going. And the markers and hands on this watch are supposedly 18 karat gold. You can see the made in Germany hallmark there at the bottom. Get a closer look at the dial here. You can see the dial has a bit of a pie pan shape to it, which is really neat. I've always liked these classic looking watches, but I've never wanted to purchase one because they've always been oxidized, or that patina you get on the dial, and I personally am not a fan of the patina. I like my watches to look new, and this one achieves that classic look while still looking new. Just one more look at that beautiful movement in the back there. And as you notice, the Glashutte original uses that 3/4 plate that's very popular with the German watches. Instead of having such an exposed movement, I really like the look of the 3/4 plate. So there you go, Glashutte original Senator 60s. Hope you enjoy the review. Have a good one.